Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a very special week of Oath Valorant. My name is Kronos, and of course, I'm joined by Aiden. How are you doing, Aiden?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited for this game. So, yeah.
All right, glad to hear it. And, folks, it's time. Week 8 of the season, the last regular season game upon us. We've got quite the show in store for you today. First and foremost, the 6-1 Checkmate are going to take on the 5-2 Vandals. Tease, what can you tell me about these two great teams?
Well, firstly, nothing is really set in stone for this game. This is the battle for first place. With this being the last game or the last series of the regular season. So this really is the battle for first place. If Vandals win this, they'll be tied for first place with Checkmate. So definitely going to see some battling it out right here in this game. I mean, Checkmate took a really tough loss last week against Space Mode, so we'll definitely be seeing if they're going to be able to just bounce back and really fight back off of that. But I mean, yeah, we'll just be seeing who's going to be able to come out on top.
Absolutely, and that right there, those two teams fighting for the first place seed in the finals, which will be coming to you live from the Starcade at OSU's campus. I hear myself, I'm actually in a dorm room on the same campus. And yeah, I mean, Aiden, any more closing thoughts before we get into this game here?
Um, Not really. We will be playing this map on Breeze. So this is a map that we have seen before. Both of these teams have played on Breeze already. Both of them did win both their matches. It wasn't against each other, although they have played each other twice already. With Checkmate coming out on top in both those matches. But Breeze is a very aggressive. It does promote those aggressive plays, which both these teams are known for. They like to play fast, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that kind of play coming out again. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this turns out in this rematch.
Yeah, absolutely too. And I mean, I think it's a special treat too to see this map again after we've had 7 whole weeks of gameplay here. And these teams, they're gonna have a whole fresh new outlook on this map that they started on in that first week. And I'm really excited to see how the strategies have changed up since that very first week here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see some characters like Jet and Chamber definitely utilize, being able to hold those longer angles with operators, or I mean, take those just aggressive angles and being able to get out. So I wouldn't be surprised to see, especially those two agents being utilized quite a bit. Um, and even like a Viper for smokes, being able to place that wall down and cover half the map basically. It's going to Wouldn't be surprised to see those characters being utilized quite a bit here.
Yeah, absolutely. Since we've been on this map the first time, we've also had the Yoru rework as well. So we've seen a lot of these characters change up a little bit, and maybe we'll see him today. Definitely more viable than he was in that first week here. So
Yeah, and with I mean, just kind of building on top of that, because Breeze is such a open map, um, I mean, yeah, Yoru is totally an option.
mhm.
Being able to put those teleports down, whenever you place them and you want them to move, they can only go straight. So, um, especially having the map being so open, that opens up a lot of different possibilities for a Yoru play. Um, but we'll just have to wait and see if that ends up being the choice for any of these teams. Like I said before, Jet is normally your preferred duelist, um, but it's still definitely an option.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we talked a little bit about the map, a little bit here, but I think it's worth talking about kind of the geometry of this map too. Like the one, we've got a really large point here with those two big obstacles in the pyramids, and then we've got the smaller one in the B site. So I mean, a lot of different strategies can really be presented here for tackling this map. So and we say so much about how these two teams favor like speed and aggression, but I think in the recent weeks they've really learned to sort of adapt, and I think we're going to see a lot more flexible teams here, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and we even actually saw it last week with Checkmate. Um, on Ascent, they definitely slowed things down a little bit while
Yeah.
on their attack, um, focusing a little bit more on trying to read their opponents and try and get a understanding of what was going on rather than just heads down running right in, um, which is what we have gotten accustomed to seeing for the most part from them. So it'll be interesting to see if they are going to continue with the just running right in type of play style, just being aggressive, or if they're gonna follow up after last week and try and continue that a little bit slower paced play style.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think too, like, the stakes are high though, but I mean, I think this definitely seems a lot more achievable to the Vandals here. Checkmate having finally lost a game. So, they're not facing the undefeated team here. They're facing a team that's within one of their own record right now. So I think that, for both teams, it's going to make it a much more, I think definitely a much more competitive game here because they really have to solidify their place here in this seeding. And, they want to make sure that they bring their best effort here for this final season game.
Yeah, space mode. You gotta give them props for beating Checkmate last week. They took down the undefeated Checkmate, and it made Checkmate look touchable. And so with coming off of the back of that, obviously both teams want to end the regular season on a high note and get this win here. Um, and yeah, it makes it look to the for the Vandals at least, it makes it look as though Checkmate is beatable, and that's actually huge when it comes to just the momentum of the game starting out, just coming right out of the gates. Um, they know that you can beat these guys. So,
Yeah,
um,
definitely. And I think that momentum is huge, and that's definitely going to be something that they're playing toward when it comes to the finals as well. Like, I mean, I think, being able to see this team, I guess I would say, know that they are beatable. I think that's going to help definitely here in this game.
yeah, absolutely. Um, and like you said before, the finals, they are going to be taking place live. So, you know, being on site,
Yeah,
that can actually change things. It's a different environment, all being able be
definitely.
between, just sitting in your room and playing on your own setup, and being with your team, shoulder to shoulder. That kind of thing can change the course of games. It doesn't sound like much, but there is a difference between being in person and being online. So, once these final games are through, it's definitely going to be interesting, on the day of the finals, to see how things change. You know, energy is huge when it comes to those in-person games. So, you know, these last few this last game, um, tonight is going to be very important in carrying over into the finals.
Yeah, and I mean, what absolute excitement we're gonna have in those finals too, because I mean, like you said, being in person, that just changes the energy completely. I mean, these players, they can see their teammates, they get, immediate feedback on these plays. Everyone is like playing next to each other and playing, I think, much more together too. You're in the same room, same ping, everyone's synced up and playing their absolute heart out, definitely. So I think that'll definitely be a treat. So
Yeah, and I mean, you actually mentioned it, like the ping, the connection.
yeah.
Like people don't, it doesn't sound like much, like milliseconds difference, but that can be the difference between a kill and staying alive. It does,
Yeah.
and it's yeah, it's definitely pretty important, and um in that competitive setting. So,
Oh, absolutely. And- All
well,
right,
we're going
looks
to go ahead.
Oh, sorry. It looks like we're gonna go to an intermission here. We just had a little bit of some technical problems here with the lobby, but in just a moment we'll be back and ready to cast a great game for you. So see you then. Hello, everybody. Sorry for that little technical intermission there, but we got to work on the fly, just like we see these players doing all the time in the game. It's about going with the flow, and we just keep on stepping here. So I mean, I think we've talked a lot about all this here, but I mean, Aiden, like, tell us about some of these map picks here. Or sorry, agent picks. I mean,
Like what was said before, um, the jet and chamber very common on this map. Just being able to take those aggressive peaks and being able to really just get away fairly safely. Um, so those two very unsurprising, I guess is what you could call it. Uh, the Viper, same way. Very, it the Viper Wall, orb, everything. Just being able to place those down and being able to cover so much of the map, it's huge for when it comes to just control and being able to cut off sightlines. The Viper Wall by itself can cover mid and a site if you place it correctly. So
Mhm.
it's pretty important for being able to just control space really. Um, and then even I mean it's all pretty standard. You've got your different roles. So then the last one is just your flashes. You need to have flashes in order to entry sight. Um,
yeah,
so the KO Sky. I mean duelists. So Reyna, Yoru, just whatever the specific player is comfortable with, I guess is how you could word it. Um,
right.
so
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
I
yeah.
yes, I think it definitely makes sense to have the Viper there. I mean that A site with the pyramid so big. I think that Viper, as a Sentinel makes like all the difference in covering that space there because that can just be super difficult as a as a defender there. You want to make sure you close as many angles off as you can on that huge site. But yeah, I mean definitely I think there's a lot of insight here that goes into these picks. So. And insight that these teams have learned, absolutely. And we're of course seeing some comfort picks here too from these players. Agents that they've been using throughout the entirety of the season, really putting in the effort on them. So yeah, looks like we're
Yeah.
getting in here.
Yeah, so I mean, all all the yeah, all of the the agent selects are all pretty standard, like we just discussed. So sorry. So with that, we'll be jumping in to this map. Definitely excited to see how these teams decide to play this out. Already we're seeing the Vandals just start to stack up on B side. So wouldn't be surprised to see a fairly quick hit on this pistol round.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, in this last regular season game, I mean, what a treat it is to see the same map again. I mean, I think that's great. Beginnings to ends, kind of a little bit of a cyclical thing going on there. And so, I think that's great. You can directly see all the improvement these teams have had. And yeah, we're getting right into the round here.
Yeah, Vandals already just running up through mid, have control of the defender spawn actually. Most of the defenders have decided to push it down mid, so Vandals run all the way up through mid, through the defender spawn, and back onto A site, with Panther getting that opening pick on this final match.
Yeah, it looks like
Checkmate. Yeah,
Panther's putting some pressure on those doors there, Aiden, but Actually, looks like Bossman just got a pick as well.
A very nice shot through to the backside, and Squid and Panther are both going to be able to get one before Pluto's shut down. Squid still with that classic doing work on and getting the kill on a Destroyer, leaving it all up to Bossman with that Headhunter is able to get an angle, but just barely misses over the shoulder, and Lil Pricey able to get the swing and get the final elimination on the Bossman.
Yeah, and talking about these agent picks that we saw earlier, I think it's worth noting too that right now the Vandals kind of running something that's a little bit something that's pretty interesting to me. They've got two heals, two sources of heals here. They've got the Sage and the Sky, whereas Checkmate here has in that place they've got the Initiator and KO and the Duelist in Yoru. So two very different approaches to this map. One maybe a little bit more sustained, one maybe a little more initiation capability. But I'm very curious to see how that plays out in the rest here.
Yeah, a little pricey. Getting ready to just follow this Sky Dog out as they're get a little bit of information, and there's the dash on. So they're gonna try and get this hit done really quick as Pricey already swings out and lands the headshot onto Destroyer. And now Vandals have control of backside. Bossman getting caught in that tube by Germs a little bit. But Germs is just going to opt to teleport away, so he's gonna give up a little bit of space down tube, but his presence is known, so that's going to be a little bit of a worry for Bossman. But Pricey with the long angle able to get the kill, and Panther even with the Vandal is able to find a pick. Pricey trying to get the updraft and just run in and get the kill while his teammates behind him jumping over the wall with the sprays. But Germs is going to just swing out and get the kill right there. And Vandals with a very good looking first two rounds on the A hit.
Yeah, and that wall definitely a big playmaker right there. That made that real difficult for Checkmate to find an easy access to that bomb there. And I mean that's pretty common here. There's a lot of maps where that Sage Wall can really change up a site, change the geometry of a site up, and even maybe give like a little bit of an early plant. The attackers don't have to go as far into the site to drop the bomb there.
And this, so far from what we've seen, they're slowing down a little bit. Vandals are deciding to just go for the quiet approach, but as of course I say that, Panther gets into a little bit of a skirmish as Yam on the other side of the map actually gets a kill on B main. So Vandals are gonna start leaning towards that way a little bit as the Viper Wall is gonna go down, and they flash onto site. Pluto with those Viper bites trying to do a little bit of chip damage as Squid gets this plant down. Vandals now in this post plant just looking to hold it from backside as Germs gets a shot with the Headhunter ability, and Pricey to follow up as well with the headshot. Lion and Destroyer looking to get this retake done, but Panther and Pricey just shutting it down before it can really get started. And Vandals using that aggressiveness that they're known for and really just jumping right in so far in this game.
Absolutely, and it looks like being the third round here, we are gonna see the full buy come out from the Vandals, and it looks like Checkmate going here with multiple marshals here. Very interesting strategy, but I would I'd struggle to say it's a bad one. I think it's actually a pretty good one considering how wide Breeze is map wise, very open. I think those long sightlines will definitely help Checkmate here.
And Pricey seems to be just a little cautious with this swing before that Viper Walls goes up. So they're definitely somewhat aware of what may be going on Checkmate's side as the Marshall shots are going to be sprayed through. And Pricey going for a little bit of an updraft. But Panther's already up on the doors, or sorry, on the stairs, pushing up very aggressively, using that gun advantage. And now Now with it all up to Big Finn here, this is going to be a very difficult retake, especially with just that Marshall. But it was a save, so anything that he can get here will be huge, as that's just a gun taken away. But there's the swing, and it's just 2 players of the Vandals watching that angle, and there's just not much that you can do there. And that's a flawless round for Vandals.
Yeah, absolutely. And Vandals building a little bit of a lead now, 4 up in this first half. But this next round here, we are going into a even buy situation here. Everybody's got a Vandal, everybody's got the armor. Although Checkmate significantly less money on hand, so they really won't be able to do the buy round again if they lose this round here. But obviously with that full buy, that's not what they're hoping for, so.
And here's another slower take off of the back of that quick one. But Panthers actually got tube control as he's just kind of creeping up there. And he's got a free kill onto Bossman as Bossman tries to jump across towards the nest area to watch that mid angle. And so that's going to open things up a little bit. And as he gets a second one, pushing deeper into the defender spawn. That's actually a third. That's Destroyer down with a very nice headshot through the arches. And Panther just keeping this control down in their spawn. And Pluto underneath him is able to get the kill on the jump down, but Yum right behind him, able to get that crossfire and finish things off.
Yeah, a great round from the Vandals there, especially from Panther, getting that triple kill. Fortunately, Pluto just really in the right spot there to clean that kill up, but he will be traded off by his team member. So again, all very smart plays by Vandal, always keeping your fellow team member covered there, ready for that trade. And they are going to get their 5th round, moving into the 6th one here. Checkmate will actually have to do a save again as well. We are going to see a lot of marshals come out, but also some just going to opt to use the pistols.
And I think Vandals are somewhat aware of this, as they're just going to pick up the pace, just hit the gas here as they just push right onto site, trying to utilize that weapon advantage that they have. And Yum is already going to be able to get that plant down as they have pushed on. They've got the Viper's pit down, so this is going to be a little bit of a scary take for Checkmate. They're not really sure where these attackers are standing as Squid decides to swing out and actually able to get a nice kill onto Big Finn there, following the spray. Lion trying to go for a right click with that classic, but not able to get anything as Panther gets the kill, and Panther actually able to get a second for himself on the round. And using that classic, able to get the right click and the final shot onto Destroyer, he's going to solidify that 6th round for the Vandals.
Yeah, and I mean, like we said there, Checkmate was on a save round. They are going to be able to get the buy for the most part here. Bossman not having quite enough credits here to get himself a rifle, but he's just going to go in with the classic. And the rest of Vandals riding off of the 6th win in this first half here. They are going to have a full buy with plenty of cash to spare.
And right now, I just want to point out, Panther has 13 kills going into this round. And I mean, this is the 7th round, and it's not... I mean, that's just incredible. I mean, it's not normal that you have your smoke player getting that many kills. So that just as Viper, you don't have that many abilities that really helps you in getting kills. You have your smokes and you have your Viper's bite, but that's about it. So he's really able to utilize what he's got to make those 1v1s as he tries to go for one against Bossman, with neither player really being able to land a shot there. But with this plant down, Bossman trying to spring into action a little bit more with that tour de force as Panther gets another onto Pluto. Lion on this flank lands a nice shot onto Lil Pricey as he dashes away to safety, and Bossman able to pick up a Vandal, so this is still doable for him in this 2v1, but he's gonna get a lot of damage done to him by Yam as he tries to get that jump peek in, but Bossman able to land a very nice shot on the jump. He's running out of time though, so there's the tap as Panther just still hiding in the back of sight with that classic, going for that jump peek, but he's gonna decide to switch back to the Phantom to finish things off, and that solidifies round 7 for the Vandals.
Yeah, and Panther, he will get wiped out there by the bomb, but, you know, 7th win in a row, Vandals has plenty of spare cash here, and they are going to be able to recuperate all of those losses there. In that round, checkmate, not so much. They're going to go into another save round here. Big Finn, oh, no, not going to buy. Going to go with the rest of his team there and keep the budget round going here. And, you know, I think it's worth noting here, as you said, too, on talking about Panther and the Vandals here. Vandals also playing with a fill here, so a bit unusual for them.
Yeah, and there's the very early Viper's Pit right there coming out by Pluto. So that's gonna deter the Vandals away from the A site just a little bit. That's gonna be a little bit of a harder take, but yeah, as it does seem as though they're going to rotate away towards B site. So Big Finn here, along with Destroyer, going to have to hold things down a little bit. And Bossman, even with the Marshall, trying to take a little bit of an aggressive angle from Ness, but there's the lurk down tube, and he's going to be shot in the back as well, as in front by Panther and Lil Pricey. They're just able to get that pinch down, and they're just going to decide to run back towards A now that the Viper's Pit is gone. Germs able to get that kill onto Pluto, so that opens things up completely for the Vandals on this A side as Pricey is able to get his second on the round onto Lion Gamer.
Spike planted.
Yeah, and as Yam plants here, there's only 2 left on checkmate here. A very
Last player standing.
dominant performance here so far, especially from Little Price, who's actually going to get a 3rd kill. And with Germs finishing off Destroy, that's a flawless victory for the Vandals in their 8th round. And we are gonna
Vandals really picking up momentum here as they continue on this attacking half, with Panther and Pricey really just leading the charge. And even Germs 6-1. He's only died 1 time in this half. That's pretty impressive. But really just those lurk plays, just kind of sitting where checkmate just doesn't expect them to be, and it's really just working out for the Vandals here.
Yeah, actually, every member of the Vandals here having a positive KD going into this round.
That works.
They're just gonna slowly creep down a tube though. They're all 5 of them, so that's a little bit of a different look from what we've seen. And Bossman is able to get a good look at that. So the call has probably been made that all 5 of them are there, and Destroyer's actually on a pretty good flank here. So I'm not sure if Vandals are aware of Destroyer playing here, but there's the flash. So that's gonna confirm that there is a player here. He's gonna try and swing out and get a pick, but all 5 players are aware. They're able to get that pick with Panther landing the final shot, and that's going to eliminate Destroy here. So they're just gonna go for the straight A take after that. And Pluto with very good positioning, able to get a 3rd with the spray through the smoke, and Bossman able to clean things up from backside for 2, and checkmate able to get their first round.
Yeah, and Pluto there setting up the shot, and Bossman swinging into the finisher there, really cleaning up that round, and you know, making sure that this half is not flawless. And you know, now it's much more of an even fight. Even that single win for checkmate, that is evening out the money here. And you know, and you don't need, with the cap being at about 8K, you don't need that much here to sort of turn the tide on the economy. And checkmate has begun that process, and they're gonna have a full buy round going against another one.
Things have definitely slowed down a little bit here following that round, as Vandals are a little bit more skeptical about those pushes, as Pluto gets a nice opening pick onto Yam. So the call is going to be made as the rest of Checkmate start to make their way over towards B, but sorry. So Big Fin and Pricey both get trades as Panther starting to come alive with that operator. Finds 2 for his team, but he's gonna switch out onto that Vandal as Pluto on the flank is able to take care of Germs. So there's the Lurk player. Checkmate now in this 2v2. You're gonna have to do a little bit of a retake here with Pricey making a lot of noise on the site. So they're gonna start to push out. They might be aware of Panther here, but with the op, he gets the first kill, going for the 4th, and Pluto now in this a little bit of an awkward gunfight as Pricey just runs in to save his teammate and is able to get the final kill.
Yeah, and a sneaky position there from Panther, and it absolutely benefited him there, and getting that second to last kill, stacking on top of an already great first part of the round there with those 2 other ones, and continuing the dominant performance tonight, 19-3, and this whole Vandals team showing up in a way I don't even think I've seen before. So I mean, absolutely a treat here to see like some of their best performance here on this Breeze map. But Checkmate, you know, they've definitely shooken Vandals here a little bit, and they're playing much more slowly than we've seen previously. So definitely a change here in strategy.
Yeah, and with that KO knife, Destroyer is going to be aware that there's at least 3 players in this cave area as Bossman takes an aggressive angle with that headhunter and is actually able to land a headshot. So that's a huge pick for Bossman. And Germs has already pushed up with that Odin, and he's going to be able to hear anything going on in the backside from that position. As Yam is going to bring Pricey back into the game, but Lion and Big Fin still doing work from backside, as well as Pluto, all just getting these picks as Squid is able to get a spray onto Lion, but Destroyer able to get that immediate trade off. Now Germs in the defender spawn is able to get that shot behind onto Pluto, but now his presence is known, and it seems as though he might just decide to save this Odin, as he's gonna turn tail and run a little bit towards mid, actually. So Big Fin has picked up this op, so that is a huge weapon upgrade for the defenders.
Absolutely.
As Germs is actually going to decide to try and go for this and take some weapons out of the defender's hands. Is we're just going to see an immediate teleport away by Bossman as he sees Germs and Destroyer just swinging out from behind the pyramid and able to get the final kill. And actually that's a teammate, so everybody on Checkmate were able to get a kill right there in that round.
Yeah, and you know they start to come alive a little bit here in these last couple of rounds, and that's definitely you want to see that team ace. That's always great to see that every member of the team here has absolutely contributed to that round. Everybody's in the right place, and you know what a treat to see that. And now the economy here much more even going into this last round. But since it's the last round, doesn't matter much. There will be a reset at the half, but this is the last round of the first half. Vandals are leading by 7 here, but Checkmate starting to make their mark on this map here.
Big Fin taking a very aggressive early peek, is gonna flash out, do a little bit of damage to Panther, but just gonna decide to teleport away to some safety as that Viper's Pit gets placed down by Pluto. So Vandals choosing to just run away towards the A site with Squid doing some heals back for his team. So everybody's back at 100 health, and that's with that orb being picked up. Bossman's gonna hear it, and he's gonna go for the spray. He's able to get the first one onto Panther, and with that wall coming up, that's gonna create a little bit of space for the Vandals onto site. So Bossman still with this tour de force is gonna be able to take some peeks with that operator-like weapon, and Lion trying to swing out and get some kills as Destroyer is just going to push up and get himself a kill as Big Fin is able to get one onto Pricey, and Destroyer gets his second onto Squid. It's now all up to Germs with this Odin trying to do some work as he gets the first kill onto Big Fin. but Lion just able to follow it up and get the final kill. And I mean, with that half, I mean, we're looking at the dreaded 9-3 curse.
Absolutely, and I think this is not. This is you know, Vandals, they don't want that scary story in the dark now, especially because Checkmate has bitten back a little bit here, and that round especially, you know, most of them staying alive for a majority of the round there, only just being picked off at the end. And I mean, they enveloped that Vandals attack. They absolutely collapsed on them, and I think played that round perfectly. So, you know, I don't know. If I were Vandals, I'd be getting a little bit worried now, but they've definitely shown a fairly dominant performance going from the first half here. So with that 6 round lead on the Vandals, we'll be going into the 13th round here, the pistol round of the second half.
Yeah, and those last 2 rounds were huge for the momentum of Checkmate as well. So we'll see if they're going to be able to carry that into their attack, as they're already into that backside. As BigFin is starting to get very aggressive back there, but he's going to decide to teleport away back towards the cave. And they're just going to do a default hold here from that cave, just swing out whenever the defenders start to get aggressive, as we're going to see some trades come in from BigFin and Squid, and Pricey even on that run and kill with that ghost, and going to go for a little bit of a spray, and Panther even spraying through the smoke, gets himself one, and Yam coming in and getting a little bit of damage done as well. Destroyer is going to do his best to fight through it, but Panther able to land that final shot, and Vandals are able to get their first round on defense, and they really had to fight for that one. So
Yeah, and I mean, a small moment there, but I thought it was very interesting. I saw Line Gamer use the dash there, and Little Pricey actually matched the dash. They dashed in the same direction. Pricey trying to, you know, be at that arrival point when Line Gamer passed by the wall. So that was I thought that was definitely a special little clip there. And you know, Vandals, they have established that first round win, absolutely always crucial, meaning they'll be able to kind of buy up a little bit here in the second round. Probably a half buy, but still useful.
yeah, Panther already doing work with that Spectre, but Pluto with the jumping right click, able to land the headshot. And that's going to be a gun upgraded right there. So with the spike being planted and Checkmate now having, or sorry, Vandals now having to get this retake done, BigFin trying to get aggressive and pushing towards that defender spawn. He's going to be taken down, but still quite a bit of damage done to these Vandals players as they continue to try and push through, but Pricey able to get himself another one onto Pluto as he swings out, and he's actually able to get a third onto Bossman. It's now all up to Destroyer. He's going to swing out, but Squid just waiting for him with open arms, able to get that headshot. And Vandals able to just bounce back from those last 2 rounds on their attack.
Yeah, and I think right here, a little bit into the second half, is a great time to mention these stakes again, that this is the last match of the regular season before going into the finals. And I think Vandals here, they are absolutely taking advantage of this opportunity for that momentum. They really, really, really want to put a good impression here, and you know, get themselves feeling good for this finals as well. If you know, if they win this map, which they are only 2 away now and 1 from the match point, that would leave them tied with Checkmate here. So, I mean, they're definitely hoping for that result, but I think it could still go either way.
Checkmate just hitting the gas a little bit here as they're already out onto site just a few seconds into the start of the round. We're gonna see a little bit of we're gonna see a couple kills come in through for the Vandals, but now in this 2v3 scenario it is a little bit more difficult, and on top of that, Viper's Pit is gonna come through as well, so it's going to be a little bit of a difficult push here as Pluto is aware Germs is here. He heard the reload, and he's gonna go for a couple sprays and just kind of lurking around, just walking around, isn't quite sure where these final players are, and they're just able to pinch him right into the corner right there, and just Panther able to get that final shot and take care of things, and put the Vandals on match point right here.
Match
And
point.
yeah, match point. And like I said here, this next round, we could see Checkmate take this all the way to the end and really, really fight for that final spot. But I think Vandal's got to be feeling good in this position here at the match point, potentially being able to tie the record here with Checkmate, and that's something that I think a couple rounds ago in the regular season it didn't even seem like that was going to be possible. And now we completely switched narratives here. We switched gears, and these teams are really giving a good fight.
Big Finn already trying to get his team on to side as Pluto is actually able to find that first pick. Pricey swinging out, does a good amount of damage before dashing away to safety, but Bossman just able to get that angle and that headshot onto Pricey. So Squid now, the last one on site, able to get a headshot onto Big Finn and try and help his team to even things out a little bit. But he is pretty low as Destroyer is able to get that shot onto Squid, but Panther with the immediate trade. So now with this plant down, Checkmate just defending this bomb here as Panther starts to make that push in, as Yam able to get that kill onto Lion, and Pluto even gets that trade onto Panther. But this wall is actually huge. It's gonna cover one spot from where they can come from, but Pluto able to swing out behind and get that final kill and extend this match for a little bit longer for Checkmate.
Yeah, I mean, Mighty Yam making those final moments there very, very difficult. But Checkmate doing the right thing there, choosing to peek that. I mean, I think they were not considering anything else but peeking that there. They wanted to make sure they keep this alive, and a good decision there from Pluto to push ahead there and try and get that kill. So they are going to extend the match more, and Checkmate going to be one step closer to that overtime.
Yeah, and I actually like that play by Yam right there with the wall, just cutting off that one angle. There wasn't really much there to make it to where there was only one other spot where they could come from, but we're gonna just jump right in to this round immediately as Destroyer uses his null command, but just all of Checkmate falls with the exception of Big Finn, who's in backside of A, but Pricey able to land those shots for his team, and Vandals tie the record with Checkmate. So first place is now in question, really, as they're both tied for that spot going into the finals.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to go to the officials for that one too. Tally up the score there, but yeah, 6-2, 6-2. I mean, it's tied up going into the finals. Vandals getting the momentum they want, but it wouldn't be fair of us to count out Checkmate there. They had some amazing rounds, and I think you could really with that fourth round there that they won in the second half, you could really see that momentum picking up. I think, and you know, in the face of I think so much more great plays here, and now that the teams they had this second look at Breeze, they had this second chance since the first week, and they both I think absolutely brought their A game, and they really brought those different strategies. And Vandal obviously cooked up some some good plans here that helped them out definitely. So.
Absolutely, but we are going to go into a little bit of an intermission as we wait for this next game between Space Mode and Ace. So we'll be back at 8 for the exciting conclusion to the regular season.
Yes, we will. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to this second game here of this last 8th week series of matches tonight in the Oath Valorant League. And, we've got a great one here. We've got a match here between Ace and Space Mode. Space Mode feeling amazing, coming off the back of taking down the Giants in Checkmate. And so, they're flared up. They're ready to play this last season match here, this last match of the season. And Ace is always a tricky team to handle here. They play they play with a lot of strategy, a lot of macro plays, and yeah, I mean they can be real tricky to play against, and so it's going to definitely be a treat. I mean, any thoughts on that, Tease?
Um, nah, I mean, like you said, it's going to be very fun to watch these teams play as they're um a little bit less aggressive and more just based off of strategy, just trying to read their opponent and make adjustments according to that. This game is I mean, we might see another tie here. Uh, so we might have to have two tiebreakers going into the finals coming up here after this game if Ace do win this game. So following, we're gonna just to back up a little bit, Checkmate and Vandals just played. Vandals beat Checkmate, so now there is a tie for first place. Um, and now Ace and Space Mode here. There is a chance of another tie here if Ace beat Space Mode. So that's going to be very exciting and interesting to see.
Absolutely. I mean, we've had two very tense matches today, and I mean, I couldn't think of a better day to have him on the last match, the last set of regular season matches here, going into the final season here that will be held at the OCU Starcade. And even better, we're back on the same map that we started on the first week here. So these teams have had, like 6 whole weeks here to come up with some new strategy for this map before they hit it again here in this final one. So, I mean, it should be amazing.
Yeah, yeah, like you said, they've had time to see this map to create some strategies here, and even see how their opponent may play on this map too. There is that option to you can watch your opponent before you play them, and especially on this map since they have played on this map already, there is a good way to see how these teams are going to play before it even happens. So this is going to be a very fun match to watch, I think.
Yeah, absolutely, and something exciting that we just saw here actually in the agent selection, we've got it's almost a direct mirror between these two teams, with the exception of the duelists here. Just it's going to be Reyna versus Jet on this map, but we've got Sova on both teams, we've got KO on both teams, got the Viper and the Sage. So I mean, these teams looking at very similar strategies. So that'll be very interesting to see how they duel it out here with these same abilities and the same potentially same strategies. But I mean, I think we'll see a couple differences here. It should be very interesting. Tease?
Yeah, but with that, we're gonna be going into this first pistol round between the two teams, with Space Mode piling up towards the A site, and for the most part, just Ghost Bot. So that one-shot headshot potential is there against opponents that don't have shields, and Space Mode looking to move fairly quickly in as Visions is able to get the first pick onto Sharon. Cabela being very patient with the Sheriff, lands the first shot, able to get a second, dashing away, but no, just running out of ammo, and Visions able to get the headshot onto Convella there and save that round for Space Mode here. And now Sleepy deciding to upgrade to that Sheriff, goes for a couple of shots, but Bobsoup able to get the kill as Silver gets the trade, and now it's all up to Bobsoup in this 1v1 against Silver, and Silver able to land that headshot just over the wall, and Ace with a good defending round for this first round.
Yeah, Ace absolutely starting it off right here. Though barely, very, very close match here. Only one player left on both sides in those final moments there, and it was going to be Silver taking it out. and getting that little bit of an edge. But it's going to help his team immensely. They're going to be able to buy up a little bit here. Whereas Spaceman is going to choose to save again. I mean, that's pretty classic choice here when it comes to these first 3 rounds. Usually, you want to go with the tempo that will give you a full buy in the third round, and it looks like these teams are going to choose to do that.
And following that up, Space Mode now deciding to go to the other site, try and get a read on what might be going on the other side of the map, as it appears Silver is the only one playing here. So because of that, the rest of Ace are going to start moving in towards mid, trying to get a little bit of control back from Space Mode, as they're just going to burst in with Visions getting that opening pick, and Sherry even with the Guardian with a wallbang actually, and Soup just following that up with a trade onto Silver. So now with that plant down, that Sleepy is able to get a nice kill, as well as Cher with that Guardian, just landing those taps onto Zufi here as she swings out, going for a third, able to get it, trying to get a fourth here on this round with the spray, but Convella there to help out a little bit and get that shot onto Rumor, and Ace able to get their second round here on the defense.
Yeah, a big round for Cher too. She found a lot of value in that Guardian this game, and you know, that's exactly what they wanted there out of that little bit of a buy. It helps them move real smoothly into this next round here, and you know, it looks like some potentially making the choice here to kind of bonus save some of those guns from the previous round, but gonna buy up and match the space one buy pretty much. So pretty even round. Pretty even buy going into this third round here, and you know, a great match there, Cher especially.
Convella already pushing up very far with Cher getting that early pick with the Guardian. So Convella still in the corner, able to get it first, goes for 2 more, but Rumor able to get that trade off as Bob Soup able to get that entry onto War Bunny. So Sleepy here now with these shock darts, doing a little bit of damage to both Rumor and Bob Soup, it appears, as Rumor trying to get a little bit of space here as he swings out, and Ace playing pretty patient here, even with that bomb down, making sure every angle is covered, and even with that recon dart, and both Silver and Sleepy are spotted by Bob Soup's recon dart, so they're just gonna all swing out and get their first round on the attack.
Yeah, and right there, you know, we're getting some of our first couple instances here of those mirror picks kind of dueling it out. We saw that arrow come out from Sleepy, but it was responded in kind from Bob Soup, and so, you know, both of these teams benefiting from the same amount of information in these two initiators and the same amount of Sentinel gameplay here from the Viper and the Sage. So definitely that's quite interesting to see, you know, if that Reyna and the Jet's making a difference. And so far they've kind of been trading off, I think, both Visions and Convella getting a lot of value on their respective duelists here.
And with that, Space Mode are going to try and move very quickly up mid. Cher able to find 1-4 troubles before Visions trades that out, and Zufi's just going to push back towards the back site, and Sleepy with this classic, trying to go for a little bit of a spray, but Bob Soup just with the better weapon, able to land those shots, and now Silver still with just that classic again. Does a little bit of damage, but still Rumor with the better weapon, able to get that final kill.
Yeah, so that's gonna make this game dead even right now, 2-2, and moving into this next round here, pretty even in terms of economy. We're gonna see Cher on the Guardian again. She's gotten a pretty good amount of value so far in this game with that Guardian, getting quite a few headshots and a lot of great clips there. So they're gonna keep the Guardian. They're gonna have Convella on the op, a classic choice, putting that op in the Jets' hands. Lots of maneuverability there that absolutely helps when making those peaks.
Yeah, and that early Viper's Pit from Silver is definitely going to be a little bit of a deterrence for Space Mode on this B site. And we can already see on the map that they're starting to head towards the A site. And so Ace,
Spike down mid.
aware of this as they start to move back towards the A site. Convella's just trying to hold things down with that operator as he does get the first one and a little bit of an awkward gunfight with Vision,
Spike
but
planted.
able to land the shot onto Visions. And so there's actually another Viper's Pit being used this round by Zufi here. So now with the plant being down, Ace starting to move into this Viper's Pit, but Zufi and Zoodle getting in their value and getting this work done as they just get the sprays as Zufi gets his third on this round, and Cabela deciding to switch to the Vandal to get those closer range gunfights, but Zoodle able to finish things off and get 2 on the round.
Yeah, I mean, Dart responded with a dart, Viper ult to Viper ult. I mean, this is definitely a like a lot of a mirror matchup here, but I think it's been exciting seeing how these picks have been interacting with each other and like the trades that they've made here between these ults. And so we're gonna see Ace. They are going to be moving into this 6th round here on a little bit of a save. They've lost 3 in a row, and sorry, I apologize. Space Mode has won 3 in a row here, but still a very, very even game, 2-3. Both these teams putting in a lot of effort here. Ace winning those crucial opening rounds, but Space Mode having definitely had a response in the last couple rounds.
Silver just dancing around this pillar as both Rumor and Bobsu just push right in and get 1 apiece. Convella deciding to use the right click with his knives, so he's not going to be able to refresh those, but is able to get a kill as Zufi finds one onto Cher. Sleepy trying to swing out with this Spectre, going for some spray through the wall, but the wall just stops all those bullets in its tracks as Convella was able to pick up a Phantom, and oh my gosh, a collateral from Zoodle.
Wow.
Takes out both the final defenders. Was actually kind of surprised right there. I didn't realize that both of them had died right there. That's kind of crazy as they just lined up apparently as Zoodle shot that operator and was able to take them both down with 1.
Yeah, an absolutely clippable moment there. Gonna be excited to have that for themselves. But yeah, going to this next round, we're gonna see Space Mode on that full buy here, and checkmate, or Asa still saving now. Responding to that 4-round streak on Space Mode so far.
And Cher with that Guardian still doing a lot of work, finding another headshot for herself, pushing in through the smoke on the back of that flash and able to get a second for herself as well onto Zufi, and a third just pushing through with the Guardian, and a 4th Cher just using the Guardian and just landing headshot after a headshot, even getting the defuse, and just incredible defense right there using the Guardian for Ace and Cher. Just yeah.
I mean, Cher is an absolute fiend on this Guardian. She has found herself so much value this game. Using that Guardian really dialed in aim. Like, I mean, that is just, that's a treat to see. It's absolutely huge. And they are going to break that streak and you know, start the steps to making this round even 4-4.
Yeah, just breaking that momentum a little
Yeah.
bit. You know, that was a perfect example right there. Is Space Mode, you know, had won those 4 rounds right there in a row, and you could tell they were feeling a little confident as they ran into sight. But Cher showing us why she's so comfortable with that Guardian. Space Mode still using that aggressive tactics again here this round, as they've already pushed onto site and gotten the plant down. War Bunny trying to do some work on this retake, but Soodle just shutting things down from that mid angle, and Space Mode trying to get back on track after that last round.
Yeah, and it looks like Coach Coop here is going to call a timeout for Ace. You know, a pretty even round so far, but he is obviously wants to sort of rebuild that momentum that we saw in the first half of this round here, and yeah, I mean he's probably just discussing strategy here with his team. Tease.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, they are still going to be able to buy. So this round really does this timeout really just does come down to just regathering themselves and trying to get that momentum back. As they'll all have rifles probably. So this will be an even round for Ace while defending.
Yeah, I'm absolutely, and you know, Ace, I think Ace is definitely notable for these strategies here, and Coach Coop definitely liking to favors calling these timeouts a sort of break any sort of mental momentum happening there within his team, and he really wants to help reorient his team and kind of get that strategy moving in the right direction. And I think, you know, that's definitely a great use of that timeout, and I think we're gonna see the results here in this eighth round. Sorry.
And Space Mode already moving a little bit slower off the back of that that timeout. And we are going to see with those recon darts a little bit of information coming through, even that. And Vision's just pushing right into backside. Convella with a nice shot with that Sheriff, able to get the first pick as Rumor trades out immediately onto Sheriff. Oh my goodness, as Soodle actually gets 3 from the tube. That's huge picks for his team, as he's gonna just heal himself back up to 100. And now with Silver trying to get that flank through cave, Rumor watching it like a hawk, able to get that one tap, and the 6th round for Space Mode.
Yeah, I mean, Pseudo has had a great round there, and Space One gonna get that 6th round. Like you said, they're gonna move a little bit closer. We're all gonna move a little bit closer to the end of this first half here. And yeah, 3-6 now. Still really close. 3 rounds. Valorant is not much of a lead here, and you know, I think that this game is still very much in the air here. And yeah, and with that first opening pick too, Convella getting a nice pick there on the Soodle.
Actually, on the other side of the map, Zufi able to get a pick as well. So B site has been completely cleared out now, as they get the plant down, and they're just gonna play the post plant off of site. So if you look up at your map, you can see that none of the attackers are on the site anymore. They're all just kind of playing back as Shared tries to get that headshot with the Guardian, but it just doesn't work out here. So this is a little bit of an awkward retake, as Ace is just not completely aware of where these attackers are playing at, and it's a little bit slow as they do try and clear out all these angles. Warbunny making sure those spots are clear, and there it is, as they try and take those fights and diffuse that. Just the Sova ult, the Hunter's Fury comes through, and everybody swings out, and there's just not much that can happen, as Space Mode, very clean post plant right there.
Yep, and Ace here is gonna go into the 11th round of the half here. They are going to have to save, but they've got a lot of ults online. Or sorry, I apologize. Not Space One. Ace is going to save, but both teams here, they have 4 ults online. So going into this second to last round, there's a lot of potential for playmaking here.
It's a very early pick right there from Soodle onto the Sage of War Bunny. So that's all the healing just gone now, as Zoodle actually gets himself a second onto Share. A very nice shot past Yellow, as Convella trying to move up
Spike
towards
planted.
through spawn. Seems to be slightly aware of a player in the hall, but Zoodle just kind of lurking up by the bridge. Convella trying to get those shots with the knives, is able to land one and
faster.
gets the headshot. So there's the reset on the knives. Sleepy trying to get a little bit of Sleepy and Silver, sorry, both trying to get a little bit of work done through mid, get an idea of where these players are. And Convella moving past Yellow as Zufi's going for the spray, but Rumor actually lands the final shot. And Zufi able to get the final two as they push out from the mid doors. And Space Mode doing a very good job of just holding down that spike once they get it planted.
Yeah, and Space Mode there doing a great job of positioning themselves on those sneakier angles and taking the high ground when necessary, and I think definitely when appropriate there. We could see Convella there on the bottom with the knives, and it absolutely was crucial that Zufi had taken that high ground. Rumor helping him out there with that kill though, but Zufi getting two on the gate in the doors. So wonderful round there from Space Mode. And moving into this final round, we actually still see 3 ults online. 2 are being used right now.
And Space Mode doing a little bit of a split look right now with 2 on A, 3 on B. Just trying to throw Ace for a little bit of a loop here on where they might be trying to attack. And they're already starting to move back towards mid a little bit. So it's still some options of where they might want to go as Zoodle starts to make his way towards the B site, but Convella expecting it, able to land that headshot and get that opening pick.
Absolutely. A lot of motion around mid here as Space Mode looks for the opportunity to attack one of these sites, and Sleepy is going to kill Zufi with his ult here. And it does look like Space Mode has committed themselves to the A side now.
And all the remaining ults, it seems, are going to just be used right here. Space Mode try to burst onto site Share, just trying to do any type of work that she can with that Guardian, as Bob Stoop is able to take her out. And Silver actually on that immediate trade, so that puts it on the 2v1 here as the spike gets planted. Silver and Convella now trying to play together as Rumor just trying to slow things down with that flash. That was his final flash now, so he's gonna have to swing out as both players swing at the same time, but Convella lands that final shot, and that makes it an 8-4 half, so things are still completely doable for Ace here as they switch to attack.
Absolutely, and definitely a good change of tone here in this match for Ace too. Absolutely crucial that they got that last match, or that last match of the half there, moving into the second half. And it looks like Coach Brownie's actually going to call a timeout moving into this second half here.
Yeah, just with these with it being a 8-4 match, I mean, 4 rounds, that's nothing in Valorant. That's just one, that's basically just one momentum swing away from it being an 8-8 game again. So, just I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Brownie was just reminding his players like, hey, this is still this game can still get close. So there's sorry. So with that, just you gotta stay focused and put it away. So
Absolutely, and it does look like actually it's a little bit of a technical issue here from one of Space One's players. Just a little bit of game problems always happens when we deal with this sort of thing. So we're getting a fun little we're just gonna have a fun little pause here, and we gotta discuss these teams so far. I mean, we talked a little bit about the stakes earlier, but this match here. It's absolutely for the momentum here going into finals, and it's just actually depending on the results of this game, we could see a tie for third place as well, which would have us with two two-way ties in the entire league, that's just fantastic. I mean, we love to see how close these players are together, and it absolutely makes for these exciting games. I mean, what do you think about that, Caesar? What are you looking forward to in these finals here from these teams?
I mean, like you said, if Ace wins this, that brings it to another tie.
Yeah,
Um, and so, that kind of thing is pretty exciting to see, knowing that these teams are just that close, just and that they're that competitive with each other. So, that kind of thing is pretty exciting to see because, that just means anything can happen. It's not set in stone on, it's like, oh, this team's probably going to win this, it's not like that. All the teams are very close in
yeah.
skill, and so it'll be very exciting to see um how these teams react and play. So
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, 100% definitely, and I think I think we've been treated to so many phenomenal games today and throughout the season too. I mean, there's so many clippable moments we've had this season. I mean, we've had these moments. You remember the 4-man judge on Haven? That was exhilarating to see. I mean, all these moments here culminating in the finals for the first time that Oath has had Valorant in the lineup, and I think these players have brought their all and really given us a great time here. I've had a great time watching as I cast, and I hope you guys as an audience have had a phenomenal time as well. And please, please, please share the stream link too. I mean, we're only halfway through this game. You even got time to share for this game, and absolutely share for those finals.
absolutely. And now jumping back into the game as we got the technical problems solved. Ace deciding to move very aggressively through these tubes here as Zufi's going to go for a little bit of a spray, and even the Viper's Bite going to do a lot of damage to Convella here, trying to do work with that Sheriff, but Soodle just right behind, actually gets himself his third on the round. Silver now with the Sheriff, able to land the first shot, but Zufi with a very nice headshot with the Sheriff, able to get that final kill. And Space Mode are able to pick up right where they left off here on their defense.
Yeah, and going into the 14th round here, Space Mode will have gotten their first win here in the first half, and that's big for momentum. As we said before, the second round of any half decided kind of by that first one here in terms of what each team will buy. Usually the losing team of that first round and a half is going to choose to save, and the winning team will kind of buy up a little bit here. Not a complete force buy here from Space Mode, but they're going to bring out their Spectres and their Marshals, give just that little bit of a gun advantage, and so Ace here going to have to play much more strategically in order to avoid those differentials there.
And Cher on that swing off of the slow orb being thrown. But Soodle with a quick 2-3 with the Marshal, just lining him up and cutting him down here as he gets himself 3 on the round. And now the rest of Space Mode are going to spring into action with these aggressive peaks. And Soodle actually gets 4 on the round, doing work with that Marshal and Ghost, and just confirming that second round on their defense.
Yeah, absolutely there. And with that triple kill from Soodle, Space Mode just kind of moving in there, as you said, with that aggressive peak. They were able to take that opportunity to swing on the last two players of Ace there and then really cut them off that round. And yeah, and moving into the 15th round here, Space Mode is going to have 2 up in this second half here. But Ace, known for the comebacks, I'd say, with the strategies, and they're really going to put their effort in here. We've seen Cher do some phenomenal work on the Guardian this game, and overall, we just seen a lot of work from both of these teams here.
And Soodle still showing dominance with that Marshal as he lands another shot with it. And and so that'll slow things down a little bit for Ace as we actually see him start to move forward a little bit, trying to
definitely eyes on that Vandal, trying to get that upgrade from the Marshal to the Vandal, and he will pick it up and move into action a little bit, but War Bunny expecting it, probably hearing the weapon swap, able to land the headshot onto Soodle, so that stops that reign of terror in its tracks, and Ace starting to make the rotate here, but Silver just staying back just a little bit on this lurk, making sure none of Space Mode decides to follow them in. But they're just going to rotate straight to the B
30
site. So
seconds left.
it will be a 3v3 take here, as Zufi just holding this corner with those Viper's Bites as well. And there's the flash through. Still just being very patient here. Off the back of that, as War Bunny starts to push in, but Vision's
Spike
able to
down
get the
mid.
kill with that Spectre, as Zufi gets that immediate trade, and Silver even on a Bob Soup. So, but now with 3 seconds remaining, there's just no time for the plant.
One enemy
Space Mode
remaining.
just hiding away. And that will be the round, as Zufi's actually able to eliminate the last 2 remaining attackers after the round ends.
Absolutely, and that's going to be the third in the second half for Space Mode, and we're going to be as we move into the 16th round here, they're going to have a full buy in their hands with the Vandals ready, the 5 rifles, and Space Mode is going to be put into a save round again, really trying to make something happen this round and turn the tide, as Space Mode has 11 on the board, 1 away from match point and 2 away from the victory here.
Ace just choosing to play a little bit slower here, just trying to catch any of the Space Mode players, just kind of sleeping on an angle a little bit. But it doesn't seem as though Space Mode are going to choose to give Ace anything, as they're just using those jiggle peaks, trying to get a little bit of information, as Ace playing the long game a little bit here, walking around site. Space Mode, they do have those weapon advantages, so any type of 1v1 gunfight is going to be on, leaning towards Space Mode in the advantage. So still recon darts getting shot out, still Space Mode not exactly sure where Ace is playing here, as they start to creep up mid.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, this round definitely a lot slower than we've seen. Both teams really choosing to switch up the pace here and just kind of waiting for the contact to move on one. And they're going to get it there. Bob Soup and Soodle.
Down B.
Cabela trading off for Soodle there with the 15 seconds left on the timer.
Silver trying to
10
take
seconds
a peek towards the backside of B, but it's just too long with that
Last
classic.
player standing.
And Zufi able to get a kill onto Convella with the Viper. So Convella was pretty low. And with that, the spike goes down, and there's just not enough time,
Match
as
point.
Sleepy's just going to choose to save.
Yeah, and Coach Coop here, he's calling a timeout here, hoping to save it here at the match point. And I think he's got a good shot, especially, I mean, we've seen a lot of timer rounds actually happen recently, so these rounds have gotten tense enough to end on a timer victory, which not that common in Valorant in general, I'd say. T's thoughts?
Yeah, I think I think it's for Ace, the slower playstyle is something that they prefer over just the faster pace running in.
Yeah.
And the timer is going to be against them for
Mhm.
that playstyle. So it is something that they I'm sure are aware about. And so for Coach Coop here in this timeout, he's probably just telling his team, like, "Hey guys, like it's looking good. Just got to pick up the pace a little bit more." Um,
Yeah.
and so on this next attack, they're going to be able to buy. So with that buy, and especially with it being on match point, they're gonna be giving it everything they got here on this round.
Yeah, they're absolutely going all out there. I mean, I think that last round, it was a little difficult for them to find the right opportunity there to attack, but I'm sure part of that conversation on the timeout was, you just gotta have to try and play for those picks and like take this opportunities a little bit more here, and they're gonna move towards the A side to start this round off.
Rumor hearing a little bit of noise here. You can already see Soodle starting to make his way back towards the A site to help Rumor out, as he is the only one actually on A here during this attack with four of A's players in the cave, but Soodle able to get himself 2 before being traded out by Cher with that Guardian, still doing work with that and just hitting those headshots. As Silver starting to lurk up towards those mid doors, but and the last 3 defenders of Space Mode just moving in towards A is Bob Soup able to catch Silver in that mid area, and Rumor even in the back site landing those shots in a little bit of an awkward gunfight with Convella as Convella comes out on top with 7 shots
30
remaining
seconds
in the
left.
magazine. Just tapping that spike, trying to get an idea of where these last 2 defenders are, and even deciding to go with those knives, as this is a very intense situation here in this 1v2. Goes for the shots with those knives, but Bob Soup able to land the headshot, and that gets the win for Space Mode.
Yeah, and I mean, right here we are not gonna see that tie, I believe. But I think we saw a phenomenal game here from both teams, and they really tried to they put up that good fight here for this last regular season match. And Soodle, I think deserving special praise this game. Just a phenomenal game here, having over a 2.0 KD, getting at least 2 per round there before he dies, and I think that's huge. It's worth a notice there. Um, Usually I don't know. Usually we're not seeing him that high up, which I think he's really brought his A game today.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Normally you see your duelists taking that role
yeah,
of taking a lot of gunfights. But Soodle just stepping up on that Sage role and just doing what needed to be done to get that win. And you know, it worked out perfectly for Space
yeah,
Mode right there. So
yeah,
um, with that, that actually concludes our regular season for Valorant.
yeah.
Um, so our finals will be live at OCU's Starcade, so that'll be very exciting um, to just be in person and see everybody.
Definitely,
Um,
definitely.
yep, so that'll be on April 23rd. So mark your calendars for that. And I believe there's still one more play day for the Overwatch as well on Thursday. So make sure to tune in for that for more Oath action.
Yeah, and can't get if you can't get enough of Oath here, make sure to check out that Thursday, like Teaser's talking about, and also follow the Oath socials. You don't want to miss any information about these finals coming up for both Valorant and Overwatch, and both should be very intense, very exciting. These teams have been working for this little moment for this entire season, and I think to watch the growth they've had has just been phenomenal, and we're gonna have an amazing finals there. So make sure you come out and just keep up to date with that info. We'll see you then.